Welcome to Cooking with Miss O. Let's join Mary Beth Oxendine in the kitchen as she teaches you how to cook Southern-style healthy.
Welcome to Cooking with Miss O again, and I have a dear friend here again from the lower part of the state. Donna, I'm so glad you could come back and cook with us again. She comes with the Rawls food to show you how easy it is to make my recipes with this, and then you don't have to do all the chopping and cutting I do. The other thing is I wanted to go ahead and tell people that this is at my Ingle store, and I love it. Bilo's has a little bit of it, and Walmart has a little bit of it, but my Ingle store right by me has a whole lot of it, probably because we have students. And the students like all this. They told me, the vegetable man that is the head of that department, that Rawls food goes really fast when the students are here. And students around Clemson, they like to eat healthy, a lot of them, and so they're into all this kind of stuff and all. So I'm very thankful to have my Ingle store right there because of that. And your food is wonderful. It really is. The collard you made for us last time, we all loved them. They were excellent. Even by my recipe, you improved it. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Mary Beth, and I thank you for talking about our products. The entire Walter P. Rawls and Sons team strives for excellence. We want to be the best of the best, the freshest of the freshest. And one thing about it is that if you don't see us in your favorite grocery store, ask for us, because we're local. We're right here in South Carolina. But as you mentioned, we're going to do a wonderful squash casserole, and if you don't have Mary Beth's cookbook, I recommend that you get it. You know, you gave it to me the other Friday when you came down, and I couldn't wait to get home to sit down Friday night and look at it. It is just wonderful. But as Mary Beth told you, the squash casserole is so easy because you are using our already sliced up squash. And actually, I'm using a package and a half of sliced yellow squash, and for the other half that you don't use, you can use with a dip. I love to sit around and eat raw veggies when I get hungry. That's the thing to do at our house. One thing about our versatile veggies, they have the tamper-resistant little piece of tape
you gave me that.
on the side.
Yes.
If you see that broken, you need to report that to your store manager or either the produce manager. And for the high moisture products, we have a little in the squash. Squash do not have high moisture, but for any high moisture product, we have a little bit of piece of paper in the bottom that actually absorbs the moisture, so this will outlive its pull date.
And I wondered what that was when you gave me all that. My daughter and I enjoyed it so much and tried different recipes with it all, and some of the packs did have that in there, and I wondered why that was in there.
Well, thank you. We've already cooked the squash in a little bit of water, and what we're going to do now, and this is by that wonderful squash recipe in Mary Beth's cookbook, we're going to actually, we have 2 tablespoons of butter, and we're actually going to start by melting that. And one thing Mary Beth has done, she has included a lot of good things in this recipe. So we will go ahead and put the squash in, the already cooked squash. I cooked that in a little bit of water, and as we mentioned, it's already cut up for you and clean. So all you have to do is cook it and dump it in a pan. We are also using our versatile veggie diced yellow onion, which, there we go. We're using a little bit of these. We're going to saute those in there as well, and a little bit of garlic.
I think a lot of women and kids would be tickled to have the onions chopped up. That saves the mascara from running down our face.
Right,
you know?
exactly. And I will have to tell you a cute story about that. My husband and I have been married for 6.5 years. Well, before we got married, and this is actually before I went with Rawls, this was in 2005 while we were dating, Jerry wanted something special for his birthday. So I was working for the Department of Agriculture, and I was doing some media work that particular day on his birthday. So I was working for the beef board, and I was doing something with chopped up onions you had to saute. So what did I do? And this is before actually Rawls came out with their chopped up versatile veggies. So I got an onion, put it in the freezer, and let it stay, because I'm a morning person. So I was trying to get everything ready, to go to the station. And actually I had an onion in the freezer. I got out, chopped it up so it wouldn't get in my eyes and everything, and chop a little bit easier. And I put ice cream. He wanted ice cream, so I put ice cream right there. So that night after dinner, I served him his ice cream. He said, "What does this ice cream taste like? Onion?" And so therefore you don't have to go through all that.
Now that you said that, you know, I had all that stuff, the vegetables and all, and we had the onion and didn't stick it in our vegetable bin in the refrigerator. But when you have onion, usually even in the vegetable bin, it can smell up your whole refrigerator. And you know what? We didn't have any problems. We had the red onion, we had the yellow onion from you, then we had that what is that mixture that you do with the lime juice, the sea salt, the tomatoes and onions?
That's our pico de gallo.
That was,
well, thank
and
you.
you did that for us that day we were there with chips, and that was excellent.
Well, thank you. That's a leading seller of ours.
I bet
because
so.
actually, and thank you for bringing that up, actually we import the lime juice from a Floridian farmer.
How wonderful.
And then we have iron, you know, the natural salt in there, and it's made fresh upon order to grocery stores. We don't make it and let it sit up in the warehouse.
Oh, how wonderful!
So,
well, they have a lot of that in my Ingles because I think the college kids probably love that.
Ooh, thank you, and it's so natural and fresh. Okay, Mary Beth, in the essence of TV time, we're going to make out like this is already cooked.
Okay.
It's partially cooked with the squash, and we're going to sprinkle a little salt, a little pepper, and Mary Beth has really put something that's really neat. We're going to combine a well-beaten egg in there. Okay, we're going to put the egg in there. And then we're going to put in, she makes the best whole wheat bread in the world. It is to die for. So we're going to put a little bit of those bread slices in there, and what we've done, we've actually combined two bread slices with a little bit of water.
That's right.
And we've actually
and you have to squeeze that water out.
Squeeze the water out. But we will let this all cook together, then put it in a casserole dish, and put a little bit of buttered breadcrumbs on top. We have the finished product right there. Now, doesn't that look wonderful?
Yes.
And you can see it's, like Mary Beth said, it's quick and easy because it does have the already cut up squash. You don't have to cut the squash up or wash them or anything like that. What a woman's dream.
I know, isn't it though? And this is an easy recipe. This is one of my recipes I changed. This is a Paula Deen recipe I changed to healthy. I use the whole wheat flour. I use the fresh garlic clove, like she's doing with the onions and the squash. And I use yellow squash where she used a different squash. And so to me, some squashes are more not southern, and so to me yellow squash is southern, maybe because my mother-in-law, she always did yellow squash, and I love this. And the whole wheat bread does great with it, doesn't it?
It does, it does. It soaks up a lot of the moisture, and it gives it body.
It does.
And it gives it such great taste, that whole wheat. You can just,
and actually, you could use this as your protein meal since you have the whole wheat bread in it, because whole wheat bread made from the fresh ground berries like I do it has a high protein content to it.
Okay, now while she's doing that, we're going to combine a little bit of butter. You got the breadcrumbs.
Right here, you have a cup of breadcrumbs. Now, to take my whole wheat bread and make breadcrumbs, just pop it into your food processor or your blender, and it will work just great. And let's just toss that around a little bit, the butter. And so you have the breadcrumbs on the top. And what I do with breadcrumbs, y'all, I take a freezer bag, and I'll take a whole loaf of bread or old slices, and I'll pop them in my blender, or you can pop them in the food processor every time I get some, and then I grind them up into breadcrumbs, Donna, and put it in that freezer bag, and it's right at the door, so I never have to. I have breadcrumbs all the time.
Okay, now
and you can season them yourself too if you want, with different seasonings.
Okay, now there's our squash casserole, and we are going to put those breadcrumbs on top.
Okay, you want me to just do that?
And we'll pop it in the oven.
Okay.
For what, 350 for about 20 minutes, and that's what it looks like. It smells heavenly. It's natural. It's good for you.
That's exactly right.
And quick and easy with everything almost being done for you.
Now, the other thing I do sometimes too, before I put the breadcrumbs on, I will toss in some grated cheese.
Hey, that's a great idea.
You can do Parmesan, you can do cheddar, you can do anything like that.
Okay, 20 minutes.
And it'll be done.
350.
That's right. Now, Donna, the other thing we're going to do here is I fresh ground my cornmeal, and we're going to, and I fresh ground my whole wheat flour, and then just when we come back from commercial break, I'm going to put this together for us, okay? And we'll have this cornbread that's sitting right there.
Sounds wonderful.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, we're back from the break, and now, Donna, we're going to make my cornbread recipe. Now, Donna, I should have brought my grinder out to show you, but I'd already ground my cornmeal.
Wow.
And my whole wheat flour. And what I do is I take popcorn, not microwave popcorn,
Right.
but just regular popcorn that hasn't been seasoned, and I get it from the field. Now, you can get, and that's what I did this time, I got where that fruit farm is I told you about, Chattooga, Abby. Hand me that so I can read it again. I always forget. And it's so beautiful. Chattooga Bella Farm. And that's with Mr. and Miss Land. And they are precious. And Sawyer works there, and he's precious. And I just wanted to tell you that I got my cornmeal from there this time. So I took their corn. He was making grits out of it, gave me some corn so I can do that, so you can also get that up there too. They grind their own grits, their own cornmeal, and their own corn flour. And I can do the cornmeal and the corn flour, but I think I probably need to do something else for the grits he's going to show me. But it's a beautiful place, y'all, and it's a wonderful place. It's a U-Pick place, and they have a store, and it's wonderful. Now, what I do for the cornbread is, I bought this at Cracker Barrel. You can also get it at Lodges, and it's got a finish on it now. It's not like it used to be. And then I pop this in the oven with a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of butter, and then I get it warm, and then I put my batter in. So, Donna, would you put that in the oven for me at 350? There we go. Thank you so much. Now, I've already made one cornbread here for you to see and try, but I wanted to tell you that one is made with skim organic milk. For people that have dairy problems, they can eat my muffins in here and my bread. My bread has no dairy in it, and you can also eat my pancakes, waffles, and cornbread by just replacing the dairy with water, and it tastes just as good, and it doesn't bother you at all. And I wanted to tell you too, I make, in the recipe book, I tell you how to make your dry beans by scratch. That's very easy to do. It's very inexpensive. It makes the meal very cheap. But you can also get organics. I get this from Bilo. Ingalls has their own brand, but I really like this brand. And excuse me for clanging that on the pot there. And Donna, would you turn that on for us, please? And we're going to have pinto beans. I would put on medium. Now, the first thing we're going to do is dump in our cup of cornmeal. And I'll have the recipe on the website. Cup of whole wheat flour. This is my baking powder and my sea salt. And I use the Armour baking powder because it has no aluminum in it. And aluminum has a lot of problems for health and everything. And that's why I don't use any baking powder or anything with aluminum in it. I whisk that around. And then I have my egg. And I don't know where my egg went. Donna, I had it cracked in a bowl.
Here.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Hanging out in the behind us.
Okay. There we go. And then I do a cup of water. And in my recipe book, I do the olive oil and the honey. And I'm so short, y'all, I can't reach across this counter. But I buy this in Pickens, and you can buy it at a lot of vegetable stands. Kathy's has it. A lot of different people have it, and I use that. And I usually keep 2 or 3 at the house. Now I'm going to do 1/3 of a cup, 1/6 of a cup, half of this cup for my olive oil. And that gets it, like you did with your bowl there, it gets it so that it will let the honey fall out of that easy. The first time I started cooking with honey, I could never get honey out of the measuring cup, and then somebody told me you need to, which I should have thought about that. I felt kind of stupid afterwards. That now, if you wanted a little bit sweeter, you can do 1/2 cup of honey. Sometimes I'll do 1/4 of a cup of honey and 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar or raw sugar. And sometimes I sprinkle part of that sugar, the raw or the brown, on the top before I bake it. And it's like a dessert almost. And with butter, it's really good.
Wonderful.
So I like to experiment with my cornbread. And I love cornbread. Now let me tell you what's so easy about cornbread after you make it. You can crumble it up, stick it in a freezer bag, put it in your freezer, and it's all ready to go into dressings. Or you can also, I had a wonderful Mexican cold salad, and it had sour cream and tomatoes and everything on top, you know, and on top they had crumbled cornbread, and it was delicious.
You know, I make a layered salad. I'll put the cornbread in the bottom and layer our fresh versatile veggies on top.
Oh, do you really?
And put a little bit of buttermilk dressing on top of that and just relayer. I put fresh corn, our tomatoes, our celery and onion just in layers, and then I top it off with of course, the buttermilk dressing, and then I put crumbled turkey bacon on top and some of our fresh parsley. It is put in a trifle bowl. It's not only beautiful, but it's very tasty.
Good. I tell you what, why don't you come back and do that for us?
I would love to.
We would love that.
Thank you.
I have a trifle one I do too, so why don't we do both of ours?
We'll do it.
That would be
great. Thank you. And I want to tell you, thank you for your support for local farmers. That means a lot. Thank you so much.
I don't know if I know you knew this, but I don't know if I've said this, and the people that know my husband knew he was an economics teacher, and he was real big on us buying American products and also supporting people right in our state. That everybody should support the people that have, you know, places in their state to keep them in business.
Well, you know, talking about farm products, you know where they come from. If they're right in your state,
that's right.
You know that you know where they come from. You can go and visit. You can.
That's right.
It's just the connectivity there
is wonderful, and for kids, it's really wonderful. And that's what's so wonderful about y'all, you know, Rawls, and that was so beautiful. But also for this farm too, Bella, up at Chattooga. It's right near. It's right outside of Westminster. And it's just a really fun drive for families. If you don't do a lot of vacationing in the summer, take your kids up there. Yes. Have a family picnic, and they have some things you can do. And I thought it was the most beautiful place I've ever seen. I've been to Colorado, and I thought it was. I mean, it is really just beautiful. And so, let me tell you about the corn. When you grind your wheat, it's like it's a healthy, live enzyme. It will bubble up as if I had yeast in here, and there's no yeast. And it will, the longer I let it sit here, it will bubble more and more and more, and it will get thicker, and that's because it's a live food. And what I want to teach people is to eat live foods. The more live foods we eat, the healthier we are. And now what I'm going to do, let's get this out of the oven. That's a great idea. Thank you, Donna. And I believe these are about ready. Get out of your way. Thank you. And I'm going to take that for you. Here we go. Now you just run your olive oil and your butter, just a little bit on the sides and around the bottom. And you don't have to do it not to stick. It's just so nice because it tastes better when it browns up. So let's just put that in there. This is a Lodge pan, and I really love it because it's not like the ones I got when I got first married and they would rust on you. Remember that, Donna?
I remember
these are treated, so it's wonderful.
And it's great to be able to get a treated iron cast skillet now. Like you say, I can remember the ones that my mom had, and they would rust on you.
They did.
This
and
is just
my mom
great.
didn't have any because she wasn't from the South, and I don't know if anybody, you know, where she was in the Midwest used them or not, but Tom's mom had them, and then somebody down in Sumter gave us a set, and they did rust. I didn't know what to do with them when they rusted, but anyway, this is real easy, and I love how it makes my cornbread taste. You can do the same batter for corn muffins, and it's still just as good. And then let's pop that in the oven. And you can see already how this looks. Thank you, Donna. We're going to cut this and show you. Now, there's a lot of things you can do with cornbread besides just eat it. Right, Donna?
That is right. And if I would make would you mind if I would make a suggestion?
Oh, I'd love for you to make suggestions.
You might want to put some pico de gallo in there.
Oh,
in the batter.
In the batter, so you'd have Mexican cornbread.
Yes.
Oh, that would be, how much would you put in?
I would think for that size cornbread, you would maybe use either one of our 7-ounce containers or either half of a 16-ounce container. And it's so good,
Wouldn't
you want to
wonderful?
enjoy the rest, like you said, with corn
that would be
chips.
wonderful, you know, because we'll do taco salad sometime. Wouldn't that be great to have cornbread? And you could do that in the muffin cornbread.
That's right.
Yeah.
That would be a natural, with the pinto beans and everything.
Okay, that would. The peaches right now are in, and they're wonderful. So what I do, the skin is very important, especially when you're getting at something like I got from the Chattooga farm that's so wonderful. And I think they're putting the phone number up for it. Y'all, like with Rawls and this farm, You can eat the skins on stuff because it hasn't been treated with lots of chemicals, and that's what I love. And the skins have so much health nutrition to it. So I just do it like this, Donna, and then I don't have to worry about the seed. And then I just pull the pieces apart, and they make a real pretty thing on your plate there.
Mary Beth, you are so creative.
Oh, no, I watch people like you all the time. That's what I did.
Well, thank you very much.
And here we go.
That means a lot. Thank you.
And there, see how easy it comes off?
Right.
Now sometimes it's not easy, y'all, but right now it is. And
those are freestone peaches, which means they pull away from the pit.
It's so good.
The clingstone are a little bit more difficult, but the freestone that we're in now
is wonderful.
Yes.
And the other thing, let me tell you, if you didn't hear before, peaches have the same nutrient value as spinach. So if you can't get your kids to eat Popeye spinach, then you can feed them a peach. Isn't that wonderful? And it's perfect season. We'll be right back. Thank you. Donna, doesn't this look delicious? And it's protein healthy, it's vegetable healthy, and we've got our fruit.
Yeah.
And we're eating fruit with a non-heavy meat meal, keeps you from having indigestion. And you should wait about 15 minutes before a meal, or about an hour after before you eat fruit if you're having a heavy meat. And then you won't have so much indigestion. The other thing I wanted to tell y'all too is Evan, one of our camera operators, reminded me and told us that the cast iron pan by Lodge that we use is made in the USA in Tennessee. He had seen a documentary on it and how it was made. So how's it taste, Donna?
Excellent.
I also want to tell y'all that in Southern Living this month, July, that they have about Bella Farms on there. And Donna, thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Excuse me, this
Thanks.
is excellent. Thank you, Mary Beth.
And we hope you have a safe trip home, and Marie and I are coming to see you again. Okay?
We'd love to have you.
Thank you. Have a blessed day, everybody. Thanks for watching.